Hi, this is Joyce from This That Creations. Today we're going to do a super cute, super simple craft. You're going to go ahead and you're going to need to grab some embroidery hoops, any size, a piece of material, ribbon, and paint. Okay, so you're going to get your embroidery hoops. Any size will do. You're going to get your paint. You can choose your color. Now you're going to go ahead and dab your paintbrush in there. You want to make sure not to get too much on here as it is a thin surface to paint. You're going to go ahead and paint around the outer edges. You do not need to paint the smaller piece of the hoop. If that will not be seen, it will be covered up by material. Nor do you need to paint the inner piece of the larger hoop, just on the outer edges. And you're going to go ahead and set that to dry. You're going to grab your material. You can use any material. You can use burlap. Here I'm using a white napkin I got for like $1 at the thrift store. Any material will do that you like. Now you want to go ahead and lay it down. And right here I realized I made a mistake. I should have traced with my larger hoop a circle beforehand, because now the paint's wet and I can't touch it. So I'm over here deciding, this is real life, guys. This is just what happens sometimes in the crafting world. You have a process in your head and it doesn't quite work out, you overstep it. So here I'm trying to decide what to do. And you can see I'm hesitant and I'm thinking, okay, do I trace? No, I can't trace it now. So I decide all of a sudden what I should do is just go ahead and remove that. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my stencil and I'm going to go ahead and place it on my material. That way, when I'm done, I can go ahead and just center my embroidery hoop around my lettering. I got this stencil at Michael's for like $2.97 on clearance. We're going to go ahead and stencil Fresh Farm. Now, you do not want to put too much paint on your brush. You want to dab it off. Now, you can either use a sponge brush. I like the one I use. You can either dab, which people like to do. I like to kind of do the light brush effect. You don't want to put too much paint on your brush. You want to do enough that you're going to be able to see the lettering, but you don't want it to soak all the way through. And don't we wish we could paint like this fast in real life? How easy that would be. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move the stencil. I'm just going to go ahead and take it and set it aside. Now we can go ahead and grab our embroidery hoop. I realize now it still needs to be a little bit drier, so I grab my hair dryer. I do have a heat gun out in my garage. I keep saying I'm going to go get it. I have yet to do that. Possibly one day I might. So once you're done with drying that, you're going to go ahead and center it around your lettering. And now you can go ahead and grab your pencil, marker, color pencil, whatever you like. And we're going to trace around our embroidery hoop, the larger one. It does not have to be perfect because you're going to want to cut a little bit away from the circle anyway, to make sure you have plenty of material. You can get it tight enough that none of your material is going to fall through. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and cut it. Now in the background, sometimes you'll see my dogs. You'll always probably see them in my videos. They're with me wherever I go. If I leave them downstairs, they're just going to whine. So the black one is Indy, and the tan one is Piper. And I'm telling you, 99% of the times they will be in my videos. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and finish cutting this up. Put our stuff aside. We're going to grab our embroidery hoop. We're going to lay our fabric across our smaller one. Kind of get it centered to where we want it. Now I realize here, you want to open up a little bit. You want to get it tight though. You want to push it down where no fabric is coming up. You want to have a nice smooth area. And as I'm looking at this and adjusting it, I realize I missed a spot I need to paint. Now be careful, you don't want to get it on your fabric, especially when you have the white like I am using. But I want to touch up the spot that you can see that was where I think I grabbed it with my hands. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and set that down. I'm going to put a paintbrush down. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a bow. You can use any ribbon you like. I chose to use some black polka dotted with burlap. And you're going to crisscross it. We're going to do a refab or messy bow. And then I did some white polka dot and burlap. And then just some regular burlap. Okay. Now you're going to go to squeeze it together. You're going to grab some twine or jute. And you're going to tie it in the back. You want to tie it tight. But before you tie the second knot, I would go ahead and check and make sure that it's where you want it. Is it centered? Is it how you want it to look? Then you're going to tie another knot. And here I am going to go ahead and fan it out and make sure it's where I want it. You can use all different kinds of ribbon, guys. I'm going to cut off the excess twine. And I'm going to also clean up my bow. You can even do more ribbon than what I chose to do. I just want mine kind of smaller. And you could do ribbon that is more floppy. This one's pretty stiff. It has a wire in it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and look where I want it. And then I'm going to put a button on in the center of my bow. If you have some other accessory you'd like to put there, go ahead and do that. I do like the button effect. Now you're going to want to go ahead and hold it down and wait for the glue to dry, because sometimes those buttons want to slide. You're going to remove that annoying excess of the glue gun. Drives me crazy. I did order, though, however, a cordless glue gun. I can't wait for it to come. Now I'm going to continue to hold it down. It's not sticking as well as I want it to at that moment. I'm going to go ahead and trim off any excess material. Make sure your bow's centered and where you want it and how it's going to look. Okay, I'm checking to make sure the paint's dry where I want to put my bow. Now we've got to go ahead and cut off the back. So you're just going to go ahead and cut off excess, the extra fabric. It doesn't need to be super perfect, as long as you get it pretty cleaned up. Try to get as close to the edge as you can so it won't be showing. Yeah, everything's going to look a little weird. I am a lefty, so it's always going to look a little off. I've heard that quite a bit. All right, now that we're done with that, we're going to move our scraps aside. Okay, we're going to find out where we want to put that bow. We're going to go ahead and grab our glue gun and dab the back of our bow. Remove that string of glue. All right, we're going to place it where we want it. Now you're going to have to hold it down for a few minutes until the glue dries. All right, and there we go. Super cute. And it's super easy. All right, guys. Farm Fresh. You can use any stencil you want. You have a good day. Thank you.